Okay, a couple things when traveling to watch out for with these bags that I noticed is number one, if you're running disc brakes, your through axle will go through here. These there's an attachment that looks like this black one that goes on either edge. They give you a replacement one, but you want to be very careful when traveling not to lose that, or else you won't be able to attach your bike. You get your bike home, and if you lose that, I think it's probably a pain in the ass to get replaced. Okay, so we ordered a bike bag, and this bike bag is the AeroComfort from Scicon Bike Company. And I'm gonna open it up and see what's inside. Got the gear bag here. Gear bag. I've got the cushioning and the parts. The pieces, we'll look at that later. Alright, here are the bike bags unboxed. Got the USA on the left, and we got the standard black on the right. I did end up flying with the bike bag on the left. I put in a specialized crux in this bike bag. It survived the journey, no issues, loading, and setting up the bike was fairly easy. Lots of space in the bike bag. My crux is a size 56 and it fit just fine. On the left and the right there are pockets for the wheels. I just put the rotors, the brake rotors, facing inward to protect them so they didn't get bent or anything, but there was no issues with the wheels. Those were fine. The railer, all that stuff was perfect when it arrived at its destination. Bike bag can support rim brake or disc brake bikes. You just swap the attachments to the railing here in the front and the back, and then you can set it up. Lots of padding that goes with the bike. It's for the top tube on there, and then you've got everything nicely labeled. Handlebars, you have a saddle piece, another piece for the handlebars, and then nice storage pockets within the bag for different parts and pieces. And then I found that there's a lot of space in the bag once you have your bike in there that you can put other gear. So you can put I put my helmets and my shoes and everything in there, and just made sure it was fastened tightly so it didn't rattle around or anything. Yeah, there's the bag. Okay, the other thing is upon the first trip with this bag, I did have an issue with the quality control. The zipper here broke when I arrived. However, it was covered under warranty, so they sent me a replacement bag fairly quickly. So something to be aware of. Not sure how common it is, but something that happened to me under normal use. Just putting my bike in the bag. I think if you were out of warranty, you could probably sew this on. But who wants to deal with that when you're paying these kind of prices for these bags? You know, overall, give the bike probably a 4 out of 5 stars. Something I noticed on these bikes is it's really handy is the wheels. You can roll them through the airport fairly easy. Interesting thing here is these two bags have different wheels. One has a spring in it that I'm not sure if it's just for looks or not, but it's there in the window, and then this bag does not have that. Didn't see anything mentioned about that on the website, but something interesting I observed between the two bags. When you're looking at these bags on the website, it's hard to tell the quality and construction of the bags. quality and the construction of the bag is solid. Pockets are nicely padded for the wheels. The outer material is pretty thick. And the zippers and everything is very hard construction. I was actually surprised that I had the zipper issue myself there. Otherwise, the bag's definitely worth the price versus everything else you can kind of see on the market. So I highly suggest these bags for any of your bike travels. They store up pretty tight. You can put them at your destination and store them away easily, and keep them out of sight once you get to your location. The only thing that I see as a sort of a negative here were really the surprising zipper issue and the stitching there, and then the other thing is a little bit of concern with the protection and the padding that's available for the handlebars. That is probably the one area of these bags that is seemingly the most susceptible to damage in travel, is where the handlebars are in your hoods and your brake levers. I could see that being an issue in travel. You say whoever's handling your bag throws it around at the airport, and that area doesn't have a lot of protection. There is some padding that is given to you as part of the package that you order from the company. It velcros in, and it looks like this. So you just have this little thin padding. Of course, the case is pretty solid, but you've got these handlebar pads here. When I traveled with my bike, put something in between. I put a hefty blanket in there on top of the bars as well, just to give it that extra padding, and then I put a foam insert in between the bars just to give it that extra cushion in case something was thrown around. But I wasn't too confident with the padding there at the handlebar area. These bike bags retail for around $1,000. You can typically, it seems like they're always on sale. However, I got mine for around $500, and at the time there was a promotion where you would get a free accessory travel bag that I found was pretty nice. So I'll include this in a little demo and walkthrough of this bag. It's got nice pockets for jackets and vests, jerseys and shorts, and then if you flip it over the opposite side, you've also got pockets for gloves and warmers, like arm warmers or leg warmers in there, keeping everything nicely organized. We've got one side for your shoes and your shoe covers in there. Open this up real quick, show you what that looks like. So in there, you've got nice space for your shoes. You've got some zippers, so you can put bike computer, whatever you want in these other pockets in there. And then on the opposite side, you've got a nice pocket for your helmet. And your helmet will go on that side. And there's a separator for both sides there. So nice travel bag there. And again, once you've got everything inside here, there's plenty of space in between your bike frame in these bike bags that you can throw everything in there, and then everything's together. Throw in an Apple tracker, makes traveling with your bike super easy. All right, final thoughts on these bike bags. Probably the best bang for the buck on the market that I could find for $500 with the free accessory bag. And it's hard to find a better option there that allows you to travel with your bike safely. Has great customer service. They were willing to replace the broken zipper bag very quickly without much back and forth. And biggest thing probably about these bikes is that you do not have to take the handlebars off. Handlebars will stay on your bike. You don't have to deal with that. A lot of bikes nowadays have integrated cockpits, so that's something you'd want to definitely probably look for in your bike, so you don't take that off and mess with that. So definitely, if you're looking for a bike bag, look at these bike bags. Probably can't go wrong for the cost of the bike bag. Throughout the bag, there's nice reinforcement, solid plastic pieces that protect the areas. You see, where the derailleur edge is there, that's nicely reinforced with plastic, as well as on the wheel. You can see where this one went to the airport, and definitely made some contact with some stuff along this one test trip bag. For most folks, they will probably have a bike with disc brakes and through axles, and these attachments here are what we use. You get 2 of those. Again, don't want to probably lose those, and you want to be careful not to lose those in travel. With your bike bag, you do get a gear bag, and inside the gear bag there are pads and different things that go with your gear bag. So let's take a look at what is inside the gear bag. Inside the gear bag, you've got your handlebar pads, 2 of those. You've got a saddle pad. You've got a top tube pad there. You've got another bag for storage, so you could throw once you get to your location, if you take this with you, you can unravel this and throw your entire bike bag inside this, and then kind of hide everything away once you get to your location. We've got a couple of these attachments to the outside of the bag, just allow you to put this over your shoulder or whatnot once you get there. And then finally, you've got an accessory set. Alright, inside your accessory set, you will find attachments for different types of bikes, depending on if you have a through axle disc brake setup or a rim brake setup with the quick release pins. You've also got a TSA lock to lock your zippers on your bike bag as you travel. That allows TSA to inspect your bike. When I traveled, I did have TSA inspect the bike both to and from destination, so they did access that lock and get inside the bag.